Welcome to Ashtanga Yoga Short Forms. I'm David Swenson. Over the years, people have asked me how to adjust their practice to fit a full routine into a shorter time. Well, it's not possible to fit a full routine into a shorter time, but it is possible if you shorten the routine. So, I've created 3 routines now: a 15-minute routine, a 30-minute routine, and a 45-minute routine. The first session, the 15-minute one, I call the Jump Start routine. It's great for those who are really limited on time yet still want to do some yoga to benefit their day. The 30-minute routine is actually more basic. In the 30-minute routine, you'll find more alternatives to postures. It moves a little slower, and it's a great place to build a practice from. The 45-minute routine is really a great stepping stone for those who wish to move eventually into the full first series. The 45-minute routine is really half the length of a full session, which takes about an hour and a half. So once you know that 45-minute routine, it'll be very easy to step right into the first series. Now, before we get started, whether you're practicing the 15-minute session, the 30-minute session, or the full 45-minute routine, it's important to remember a few points. One is the breath. This is the main focus in my teaching. I want you to keep breathing deeply, full and deep through the nose. That should be your focus. Now, it's not just any breath, though. The breath we want to use here is called Ujjayi breath. It has a nice, full, resonant sound. So instead of hearing a sniffling sound in the nose, what we want to hear is a full, resonant sound in the back of the throat, something like this. So the breath should be a full, resonant sound in the back of the throat. This may take some time to achieve. At first, you'll hear the sound in the nose, but gradually work and see if you can move it to the back of the throat. If you practice gently smiling in the back of the throat as you draw the air in, let it swirl there, you'll find that the sound will come in time. Don't worry too much about it. Again, just be sure the air is moving in and out and you're really filling the lungs. That's the main focus. But do try to work toward creating this sound in the back of the throat. The other point is that when you're breathing in Ashtanga Yoga, ideally the belly should not move. So sometimes people teach the breath as inhaling with the belly expanding and exhaling and the belly contracts. That's not wrong, it's just a bit of a different approach. In Ashtanga Yoga, we engage certain locks in the body so that when you're breathing, the belly is held still in this way. And then the expansion occurs more in the chest and the ribs and the shoulders, but the belly remains still, so that when you inhale and exhale, it'll look more like this. As opposed to. So what you want to strive for is the belly being still when you breathe. These locks are also something that take time to get a handle on. In the beginning, if you think of contracting the anal muscles, that will also help to engage muscles 2 inches below the navel that holds the belly still. You don't want to hold too tight as though somebody's about to sock you in the stomach. The belly should be soft, but it's also just held still, and the expansion occurs up here. So remember the full sound in the breath, and the belly remains still. Also, you'll notice that I'm surrounded by beautiful scenery here. We're in Mercer Arboretum. It's a fantastic day, it's beautiful out here, and it's wonderful to practice yoga outdoors. But I just want to give you one caution. If practicing outdoors, it's best to practice either in the shade, where it's a bit cooler, or else in the early morning or late afternoon sun. Practicing in direct sunlight can be too much and you'll find yourself overheating. And this brings up another point. Whether you're practicing outdoors or indoors, it's a good idea after practice to drink a lot of fluids and before practice as well, so you be sure that you keep your body hydrated. So we're going to prepare now to move into the practice. You'll find that in this we have the 3 sequences in order: 15-minute, 30-minute, 45-minute. After each session, I just have you lie down and say, relax. At that point, you can either stop the tape and relax in silence, or if you'd like to fast forward to the end of the tape, you'll find a title card that says Deep Relaxation. At that point, there's a full guided relaxation that will take you 10 minutes into a full, deep, relaxing session. So we're going to begin now. Each session also is preceded by a title card that will say 15-minute, 30-minute, or 45-minute routine. Enjoy your practice. Don't worry about it. Make yoga something you look forward to practicing every day. Thank you. Namaste. We're now ready to begin the 15-minute routine. Stand near the front of your mat. Distribute the weight evenly across each foot. Keep the kneecaps lifting and drop your sit bones slightly. Stand tall. Drop your shoulders down your back and let your fingertips move toward the feet. We begin the sun salutation by inhaling, arms up. Exhale, fold forward and lower your head. Inhale, look up. Exhale, take the feet back and lower all the way to the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Listen to your breath. Remember, that is the focus of your practice. That should already be one full breath. Press the entire palm into the floor and spread your fingers wide. Keep the heels moving toward the floor as well. That's already about 4 breaths. Listen to the breath. It should be strong and full. And 5. Inhale, take your feet forward, straighten your legs, look up. Exhale, lower the head. With an inhale, take your arms up over your head, full breath. And exhale, arms to your sides. And we're ready for another one. Again, inhale, arms up, full breath. Exhale, fold forward, lower your head. Inhale, full breath, look up. Exhale, take the feet back, lower all the way to the floor. Inhale, upward dog, strong legs. Exhale, downward facing dog position. Keep the breath full and deep. Lengthen the spine, move the chest toward the feet and the top of the head toward the floor. That should already be about 2 breaths. Remember, keep the muscles above the knees lifting and press the palms fully into the floor. Breathe deep. And 5. Once again, with an inhale, take both feet forward, straighten your legs, look up. Exhale, lower your head. Inhale, full breath, arms up, hands touch. And exhale, arms to your sides. And again, inhale, full breath, hands up. Exhale, fold forward, lower your head. Inhale, head up, lengthen the spine as you look up. Exhale, take both feet back, either stepping or jumping, and lower. Inhale, upward facing dog, full breath. Exhale, downward facing dog. Remember, focus on the breathing. It's all a breathing exercises. These postures are secondary. Keep your focus on the breathing and the locks. It should already be 2 breaths. And 3, 4, focused breathing, and 5. Keep your rhythm as you jump forward, look up, keep the breath moving, inhale, fill the lungs, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, all the way up, full breath, hands touch, and then exhale, arms to your sides. And one more time, again, inhale, full breath, arms up over your head. Exhale, fold forward, hands to the floor, the head drops. Inhale, lengthen the spine as you look up. Exhale, take the feet back lower, all the way down. Full breath, push forward with the feet, lift the chest. Exhale, hips up, downward facing dog position. And full, strong breathing. 1. Fill the lungs completely on each inhale. Empty them completely on each exhale. That's 2. 3, keep the neck long as well. Try to release the tension in the neck if you feel any there. That's 4. And one more complete breath is 5. With an inhale, once again, take your feet forward, straighten the legs, look up. Exhale, drop the head. Inhale, full breath, arms up, hands touch. And exhale, arms to your sides. One more Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, arms up, full breath. Exhale, fold forward. Keep your rhythm. Inhale, look up. Keep it flowing. And then exhale, take your feet back. Be graceful as you lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Open the chest and heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Plant the feet firmly, pressing the heels toward the floor. Remember, the palm is pressing down. The fingers are spread wide. The spine is long. The neck is long. If you become fatigued in the downward dog, you could come down to your hands and knees and push your hips back toward your heels and wait until the 5th count in that position. Otherwise, remain in the full downward dog position until you hear 5. And that should be 5 breaths by now. Inhale, come forward, look up. Exhale, lower the head. Inhale, full breath, all the way up, hands touch. Exhale, arms to your sides. We're now ready for Surya Namaskar B. Bend your knees as you inhale, take your arms up over your head. Exhale, fold forward, straighten your legs, lower the head. Inhale, look up. Exhale, take your feet back, lower all the way to the floor. From there, then lift to the upward dog position, open the heart, strong legs, exhale, downward dog. Now pivot your left foot and step forward with the right. Take your arms up over your head, hands touch, full breath, lungs are full. Exhale, all the way down, lower to the floor as the lungs empty. Upward facing dog, inhale, downward facing dog, exhale. Pivot the right foot, step forward with the left foot, arms up over the head. One big inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward, left foot back, lower to the floor. Upward dog, inhale, downward dog, exhale. Stay with your breathing. It becomes more of a challenge now in the second sun salutation, but maintain the full rhythmic breathing you've been practicing throughout. That should already be 2 breaths. And 3. Remember, the palm is pressing down, the legs are working. And 4, one more full breath. And 5. Bend your knees, take a hop or step forward, straighten your legs, look up, lengthen the spine, exhale, lower the head. Bend the knees, inhale, full breath, arms up over the head, exhale, legs straighten, arms come to your sides. Stay with your full breathing, and once again, bend the knees, inhale, full breath, look up, exhale, fold forward, straighten the legs, lower your head. Inhale, lengthen the spine, look up. Exhale, take the feet back lower, all the way to the floor. Upward dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Once again, pivot the left foot, step forward with the right, arms up over the head, full breath. Exhale, hands down, step back, empty the lungs as you lower. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. We're ready for the other leg now. Pivot the right, step with the left. Inhale, arms up over the head. Exhale, fold forward, step back, empty the lungs as you lower. Once again, upward dog, open the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog position. Listen to your breath. Hear the quality and the sound of your breath. If it's becoming too constricted, just back off a bit and come back to a more refined breath. Once again, if you're getting tired, you could come down to your hands and knees a bit and pause there. Otherwise, stay in the downward dog. That should already be 4 breaths. And 5. Inhale, take the feet forward, straighten your legs, look up. Exhale, lower the head. Inhale, stand up, bend your knees, hands touch, keep the knees bent, then exhale, arms to your sides as the legs straighten. And we're now ready for another Surya Namaskar B. Bend the knees, inhale, full breath, hands up. Exhale, fold forward, straighten the legs, lower your head. Inhale, look up. Exhale, take your feet back, lower all the way down to the mat. Inhale, upward facing dog, full breath. Exhale, downward facing dog. Once again, pivot the left foot, step forward with the right as you take your arms up over the head with a full breath. Keep flowing with it. You should be feeling a nice inner heat by now. Step back and lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now, other side, stepping forward with the left foot, back foot flat on the floor. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down, step back, empty the lungs as you lower. Upward facing dog, full breath. Exhale, downward facing dog, and full deep breathing. Keep both legs active. Keep the palms pressing into the floor. Listen to the breath. Keep the spine nice and long. That should already be about 3 breaths. Remember the quality of your breath and the sound of it. Don't force the breath, but do keep it moving, consciously inhaling and exhaling. That's 5. Once again, take your feet forward, straighten your legs, look up. Exhale, lower the head. Inhale, bend your knees, full breath, arms up over the head. Exhale, legs straighten, and arms to your side. Stay with your breathing. And we're finished with the sun salutations. Now we'll take a vinyasa. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, take your feet back and lower. Inhale, upward facing dog position. Exhale, downward facing dog position. Now from here, either hop forward or jump all the way through with the vinyasa. Straighten your legs, and we're moving into Paschimottanasana, forward bend. Reach around the feet, inhale, lift the chest, exhale, and fold forward. If you weren't able to reach the feet, it's okay. You could hold either the ankles or even near the knees if you need to. Whichever position you're in, the legs should be working and the breath should be full and deep. That should already be about 3 breaths. Lengthen the spine, keep the legs active, the heels move forward and the toes pull back. That's 4. And 5. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, exhale, release. From here, we'll take a jumping back vinyasa, rolling forward, shooting the legs back, then inhale, upward dog, exhale, downward facing dog position, and once again, either jumping through or jumping forward and dropping the hips and bringing the legs through, whichever method is appropriate for you. Now raise your right leg, bring the right foot toward the buttocks, right hand behind on the floor, bring the left arm across. This is Marichyasana C, twisting posture. Keep the spine nice and long, press the right hand into the floor, pull that right shoulder back. Use the dynamic of that left arm against the right leg to keep the twisting action happening. If you want to move deeper, you could clasp hands behind the back. Otherwise, stay in the first phase of this. Breathe deep, keep the spine long. Now release that side, straighten the right leg, and change sides. Bend the left leg, come across with the right arm. Lift the spine, press the left hand into the floor behind you, pulling that left shoulder around, lengthening the spine as you twist. Again, if you wish to, you could clasp your hands behind your back or remain in the preparatory posture. This is Marichyasana C, left side. That should be about 5 breaths by now. And release, facing the front once again. Take a vinyasa, jumping back, move to upward dog, downward dog, and listen to your breath. Come on through, either jumping or stepping or walking through and sitting down, ready for the boat posture. Bend the knees, reach behind the knees, release the hands, and straighten the legs and breathe deep. That's 1, 2, 3. Strong breathing. Keep the lower back lifting. 4, 5. Hands to the floor and lift up for a breath and back down. And once again, holding and breathing deep. That's 1, 2, 3. Strong breath. 4 and 5. Hands to the floor, cross your legs, jump back. Then lift upward dog, downward dog. Once again, coming all the way through to a sitting position. And we're now ready for back bending. Lie down on your back. Bend your knees, bring your feet to the floor and grab your ankles. Press the hips up, roll the shoulders under. If you wish to move into the next phase of this back bend, you can take your hands to the floor and push all the way up into Urdhva Dhanurasana. or stay in the previous posture, but breathe deep, whichever choice you've made. That should already be about 3 breaths. Strong legs as you're in your back bend, 4 and 5. Then lower down to the floor, bring your knees to your chest, give yourself a hug, roll up and back, roll up to a sitting position, straighten your legs, lean forward, clasping the feet or the ankles and breathing deep in a forward bend as a counter stretch to that previous back bend. Breathe deeply. Just a few breaths there, and release. Now, it's time for our finishing postures. Either sit in lotus, half lotus, or no lotus. Whichever choice you make, you should sit up straight with an erect spine, hands placed on your knees, and breathing deep. Full, rhythmic breathing. That's already about 2 breaths. Really fill not only the entire lungs, but think of filling the entire body with every breath. 4. Inhale and exhale slowly. 5. Really controlling the breath. And 6. Control your breathing. Focus on the sound and quality. Keep it soft. That should be about 8. And release the legs. Lie down on your back. Close your eyes. Now tense the entire body. Tense the feet and the hands and the arms. Hold as tight as you can, and then slowly release completely and totally relax. You could either push the pause button now and remain in your own deep relaxation and silence, or fast forward to the end of the tape where you'll find a title card that tells you that there's a deep relaxation there. We're now ready to begin the 30-minute routine. Stand near the front of your mat. Distribute the weight evenly across each foot. Lift the muscles above the knees, drop your sit bones slightly, lengthen the arms so the fingers move toward the feet, and stand tall. Find your breath. We begin the first sun salutation now. With a big inhale, take your arms up over the head, look up at your hands. Exhale, fold forward. If your hands don't reach the floor, it's okay. Let them come to the shins if you need to. Then inhale, look up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, take your feet back and lower all the way down. With an inhale, lift the chest with a full breath. Exhale, that was the upward dog position, and as you push back to the downward dog, you then hold for 5 breaths. Your feet should be about 6 inches apart. Full deep breathing. If you have particularly tight hamstrings, you may find it necessary to bend the knees slightly in this in the beginning and work towards straightening the legs and pushing the heels toward the floor. Otherwise, the legs are straight, the arms are straight, and the palms are pressing into the floor. That's already about 4 breaths. And 5. With an inhale, step forward, take both feet forward, straighten the spine, look up. Exhale, lower the head. Inhale, stand all the way up, take your arms up over your head, and then exhale, lower the arms to your sides. Keep your focus on your breathing, and we're going to move into another sun salutation. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, once again, look up. Exhale, take your feet back. You can step back or jump back if you wish, and lower to the floor. Inhale, lift the chest with a full breath. Exhale, downward facing dog position. If you become tired in the downward dog position, if it feels like too much on your arms, you could come down to your hands and knees, pushing the hips back, and rest in that position while we're counting to 5. Otherwise, you remain in the downward dog and breathe deep. That should already be about 3, 4. Strong breathing. Listen to the breath. Keep that as your focal point. And 5. Now bend your knees, and you're either going to jump forward or step forward. Straighten your legs and look up. Exhale, lower the head. Inhale, stand all the way up with a full breath. Hands touch. Exhale, arms to your sides. And one more time. Inhale with a full breath. Take your arms up over your head. Exhale, fold forward. Remember, it doesn't matter if your hands reach the floor or not. Just focus on the breathing. Inhale, look up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, take your hands to the floor and then step or jump back and lower. Inhale, lift the chest, full breath. Exhale, push your hips up to the sky. Once again, we're holding the downward facing dog for 5 full deep breaths. Keep the quadricep muscles, the muscles above the knees, lifting as you press the heels toward the floor. Press your palms into the floor and spread your fingers wide. Keep the breath rhythmic, full and deep. That should already be about 4 breaths. Keep your neck relaxed and long as well. And 1 more, and 5. Listen to the breathing. Once again, you're going to come forward, either jumping or stepping, straightening the spine as you straighten the legs and look up. Exhale, lower the head. Inhale, stand all the way up with a full breath, the hands touch. Exhale, arms to the sides. And we're now ready for Surya Namaskar B. Once again, the breath is full and deep. You bend the knees with an inhale, take your arms up over your head. Exhale, fold forward as you straighten the legs and lower your head. Inhale, look up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, take your feet back, either jumping or stepping, and slowly lower to the floor. Inhale, lift the chest, keep your legs strong in the upward dog, then exhale, push the hips back to the downward dog. Now you want to pivot the left foot and take a big step with the right foot. Then take your arms up over your head with a big inhale. Exhale, fold forward till the hands come to the floor, step back, and lower all the way down. Inhale, lift to the upward facing dog position. Exhale, push the hips back to the downward facing dog position. Now we're ready for the other side. Pivot the right foot, step forward with the left. Take your arms up over your head with a full breath. Then exhale, step back and lower all the way to the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Remember, if your arms are getting tired here, go ahead and bend your knees and sit back on your heels and pause in that position while we count to 5. That should already be about 2 breaths. And 3. Keep the spine long. 4 breaths. And 1 more. That's 5. Once again, come forward. You can jump or step, either way. Straighten the legs, look up. Exhale, lower the head. Bend your knees as you inhale. Take your arms up over your head with a full breath. Then exhale, straighten your legs, and your arms come to your sides. You should be feeling nice heat building inside now. We're ready for another one. Bend your knees. Inhale, full breath, arms up. Exhale, fold forward, lowering the head. Inhale, look up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, take your feet back and lower all the way down. Strong legs as you inhale and lift to upward dog, and then press the hips back to the sky for downward dog. Pivot your left foot, step forward with the right. Big inhale, take your arms up over the head, look up at your hands. Exhale, fold forward, take your hands down, step back, and lower all the way to the floor. Inhale, lift the chest, upward dog, push the hips up, downward dog position. Now step forward with the other foot. The left foot comes forward, the back foot, the right foot is flat on the floor. Your arms come up over the head, full breath. Exhale then, your hands come down, step back, empty the lungs as you lower to the floor. Upward facing dog position, inhale. Downward facing dog position, exhale. Strong breathing, both legs are active. You're pushing the heels toward the floor, and the entire palm is pressing into the floor. Remember, if it feels like too much stretch on your hamstrings,
bend the knees slightly, or if your arms are getting tired, come all the way down to your hands and knees and push your hips back toward your heels. Otherwise, you're still in the downward dog, and we're on breath number 5. Once again, take both feet forward, step or jump, and look up. Exhale, lower the head. Bend your knees, inhale, full breath, arms come up over the head. Exhale, legs straighten, arms come to your sides. And we're now ready for the first standing posture, Padangusthasana. Step the feet about hips width apart. Place your hands on your waist. Inhale, lift your chest, look up, then exhale and fold forward. If you can reach your feet, grab the big toes. If not, hold behind the knees or behind the ankles. Then inhale, look up, and exhale, fold forward. Whether you're holding your toes or behind the legs, both legs should be active and working. If you feel discomfort in the lower back, it's wise to bend the knees slightly and breathe deep. That should be about 3 breaths already. Got to keep the spine long. Don't round the lower back too much. 4. The stretch should be more on the hamstrings than on the lower back. And 5. Inhale, look up. Exhale, take your hands to your waist. Inhale, stand all the way up. And with an exhale, take your feet back together. Now we're ready for Utthita Trikonasana. Step to the right, and you want to have one of your legs length distance between your feet. Turn the right foot out, and the left foot, the back foot, turns in slightly. Bend at the waist as you extend toward the right foot with your right hand. Initially, you may have to leave that right hand on the shin, and over time, work it toward the big toe. You want to keep the upper body rolling out over the right leg as you breathe deep. The left hand is pointing up toward the sky, and that's where your gaze is. That should already be about 3 breaths. Keep the upper body rolling open as you open the chest toward the sky. 4. And 1 more full deep breath. Keep the spine long. Both legs are active now. And 5. Inhale, come all the way up. Change sides by pivoting, turning the right foot in and the left foot out. Once again, extend across your shoulders. Reach out with the left hand toward the left shin. Once you have the hand on the shin, you can then begin to work the hand down toward the foot or leave it where it is, whichever is most appropriate for you. This is your practice. Focus on your breathing. Don't worry about getting the postures. They'll come in time. Stay broad across your shoulders. Your gaze is up at the right hand now. Both legs are still active. That's already 4 breaths. And 1 more, 5. Let the inhale lift you. Then turn the feet parallel. Then exhale and step, feet together, facing the front of your mat once again. We're now ready for Utthita Parsvakonasana. Once again, step to the right. You want a wider, longer stance now. Turn the right foot out and bend your right knee. Check your stance now. See that the right knee remains over the right heel and the back leg is straight. Lower your right forearm to the top of your right knee and your left arm beside your head so that you create a straight line from the outer edge of your left foot up the side of your body, shooting out the fingertips of the right hand. Roll the chest open to the sky. You should be breathing fully and deeply. That should already be about 3 breaths. Focus on the breathing. Keep the spine long. That's 4. And 1 more breath, 5. Once again, come up with the big inhale, straighten the right leg, turn the right foot in, the left foot out. Bend the left knee, check your stance, be sure the knee stays above the heel, lower the left forearm to the top of the left knee, right arm beside the head. You want a straight line from the outer edge of the right foot, moving along the side of your body, shooting out the fingertips of your right hand. Keep the chest rolling open to the sky and breathe deep. That should already be about 3 breaths. If you're more flexible and you wish to, you can move deeper into this posture by taking that left hand to the floor outside the left foot. Otherwise, remain where you are and breathe deep. Inhale, come all the way up, coming out of the posture, taking the feet parallel, And as you exhale, take your feet together, facing the front of your mat once again. We're now ready for Utthita Padangusthasana. Raise your right knee and grab it with both hands and lift the knee. Once this is comfortable enough, you can move into the next phase, which is taking the right big toe with 2 fingers of the right hand. At first the leg may be bent, and then you'll straighten it over time. Breathe deep. Stay at whichever phase is appropriate for you. The focus again is the breathing and your balance. That should be about 3 breaths already. Full deep breathing. That's your focus. 4 and 5. Now bend the right leg and slowly lower it to the floor. Now raise the left. Bend the knee and grab it with 2 hands and lift. Either remain there or take the big toe with 2 fingers of the left hand and then work towards straightening that left leg. If that's too much, leave it bent. Keep the supporting leg, the right leg, active. Don't lock it back, but try to keep it straight. Breathe deeply. Keep your focus and the rhythm in your breath. That should already be about 5 breaths. Now release the left leg and slowly lower it to the floor. Now with an inhale, take both arms up over your head. Exhale, fold forward, lower your head. Inhale, look up. Exhale, take your feet back just as though you're doing a sun salutation and lower to the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now pivot the left foot and step forward with the right. Take your arms up over your head with a full breath and look up. We're in Virabhadrasana, the warrior posture. Right leg is at a 90-degree angle, the back leg is straight and strong, and your spine is perpendicular to the floor as your gaze is looking up at your thumbs. That should be about 4 breaths, strong breathing, and 5. Now straighten the right leg and pivot. Turn the right foot in, the left foot out, and bend the left knee. Once again, look up to your thumbs. Keep the left leg at a 90-degree angle. Drop your sit bones so you don't collapse too much in the lower back. Keep the spine lifting and extend up through your arms and all the way up through your fingers and breathe deeply. That's already about 4 and 5. Now keep the front leg bent and open your arms so that they're in line with the legs and turn your gaze out over the left hand. The upper right pelvis is moving back. The inner left knee moves forward. You're breathing full and deep. That's already 3 breaths. The spine is perpendicular to the floor and your shoulders are broad. And 5. Straighten the left leg. Pivot the feet. Change sides as you bend the right leg and you're looking out over your right hand and breathing deep. Strong, full breath. That's already 2 breaths. 3. Broad across the shoulders. Keep the spine long. 4. And 5. Take both hands down, step back, and lower all the way to the floor. You should be feeling a lot of heat by now. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now it's time to come all the way through to sitting. You can step forward or hop forward and come all the way through into Dandasana. The hands press into the floor directly beside the hips. Push your heels forward and press the back of the knees down into the floor as you pull the toes back toward your head and the chin drops toward your chest. The spine should be long and the chest open with the shoulders rolling down your back. Breathe deeply. That should already be about 3 breaths. Remember to keep both legs working and the arms pressing down into the floor. And 5. Now, inhale, take your arms up over your head. As you exhale, fold forward, reaching toward the feet. If you grab them, hold on to the big toes. If you can't reach the feet, go ahead and leave your hands on the shins or even near the knees if you need to. That's perfectly fine. Try to keep your lower back lifting. Feel the stretch on the hamstrings. Whatever phase you're at, lengthen the spine, keep the breath full and deep, and keep both legs active. That should be about 4 and 5 breaths. With a big inhale, lengthen the spine, and look up. Open the heart, exhale, and release. We're now ready for our first vinyasa. Cross your legs, take your hands in front, take the weight over your hands, lift your backside off the floor, and then step back 1 foot at a time and lower to the floor. Then lift to the upward facing dog, and then press back to the downward facing dog. Then come all the way back through by stepping forward, dropping your hips, and bringing the legs through. We're ready for Janu Shirshasana A. Bend the right knee and bring the right foot close in to the inner left thigh. Keep the left leg straight. There should be a 90-degree angle between the knees. Now bend at the waist and take both hands forward toward the left foot. If you can't reach the foot, that's fine. Leave your hands on the shin or even near the knee if you need to. But keep your focus on the breathing and the left leg working as you push that left heel forward. Breathe deeply. That should already be about 3 breaths. Full rhythmic breathing. Inhaling and exhaling with complete awareness. And one more breath makes 5. With an inhale, lift the chest, look up, exhale, release. Straighten your right leg, and then change sides. Bend the left leg. Take the left foot in toward the inner right thigh. There's a 90-degree angle between your knees. Both hands move forward toward the foot or the shin or the knee, whatever is appropriate for you. Then inhale, look up, and exhale, fold forward and breathe. Remember, this is your practice. Don't go beyond your limits. Work within your limits, yet also challenge yourself a bit. Challenge yourself to focus more fully on the breath, to keep the heat, and to keep that rhythm, and turn your practice into a meditation. Breathe deeply. That should be already about 5 breaths. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release. Once again, we have a vinyasa. Cross your legs, take your hands in front. You can either jump back or step back 1 leg at a time, and then move through your upward dog and downward dog. If these vinyasas are too much, just leave them out for now, and just wait until we come to the other side. Otherwise, you've now come back forward from your downward facing dog and moved both legs through. Now, we're ready for Marichyasana A. Bend the right knee, take the right foot in line with the right buttocks. Raise the right arm, and then extend forward. Press that right arm against the right leg and pull the chest through. That's the first phase. Keep the left leg working. Eventually, you'll wrap that right arm around the right leg and reach back and clasp the left hand. If that's too much, don't worry about clasping the hands, but keep that right arm working against the right leg to pull the chest through. Either way, you're extending with the chest, working the left leg, and breathing deep. It should already be about 4 breaths and 5. Now, with an inhale, you're going to lift the chest, lengthen the spine, exhale, and release that side. Now change sides, straightening the right leg, bending the left. Raise the left arm with an inhale. Exhale, bend at the waist, press your left arm back against that left leg to pull the chest forward. Keep the right leg working. Wrap the left arm around the left leg if that is appropriate, and clasp the right hand. If that's too much, just leave the arm pressing against the leg, but without clasping behind the back. Either way, your focus is on your breath, and that right leg is working, and your spine is long. Try not to round the lower back too much. If you had an I in your chest, you should be extending forward with that. Now, release the left side, straighten the left leg. Again, we have a vinyasa. Cross your legs, take your hands in front, and jump or step back and lower all the way to the floor. Upward dog and downward dog. Remember, if this is too much, you could leave this part out and just wait for the next posture. Otherwise, come on back through, and we're ready for Marichyasana C. Bend the right knee. Take the right hand on the floor behind you. Bring the left arm across between the right knee and the chest. Press the left arm or the left elbow against the outer right knee, and then lift the spine in a spiraling motion so that right shoulder is pulling back as you pull the chest around Your neck is long and your gaze is back over the right shoulder. Don't forget about your left leg. Keep it working too. And of course, your breath is nice and full and deep. It's already 4 breaths, feeling the spine twisting and lengthening, and 5. With an inhale, look back to the front, then exhale and release that side. Straighten the right leg. Now bend the left. We're preparing for the other side. The left hand comes to the floor behind. Bring the right arm between the left knee and your chest. Lift the spine. Look back over the left shoulder. Press that right arm or the right elbow against the outer left knee to get more length in the spine and to twist, pulling that left shoulder back. Lift all the way through the top of your head, from the base of your spine up through the top of your head. The right leg is still working, your breath is full, and that's already 5 breaths. Turn your gaze back to the front. Release that posture. Listen to your breathing. One more time, we take a vinyasa, or remember you can wait. Otherwise, you jump back, upward dog, and downward dog. And we're now ready for the boat posture, which is called Navasana. Bend your knees, take your hands behind your knees, lean back slightly and lift your feet. Remain in this position if you need to, or eventually you'll release the hands and breathe deep with the arms parallel to the floor. Full deep breathing. It's already about 2 breaths. Eventually, you'll straighten the legs in this posture. That's the full boat. Stay at whichever of these 3 phases is appropriate and keep your breath moving. That should already be about 5 breaths. Now, in between, take your hands down, cross your legs, see if you can lift your body off the floor. Even if you don't achieve the lift off, that's okay. Just make the effort, press into the floor, and then lower. Once again, we repeat the boat posture. Take your hands behind your knees, keep the lower back lifting, or release the hands, breathing deep in that position, or possibly even your legs are straight. Know your limits and don't go beyond them, but at the same time challenge yourself to focus fully. That's 5. Once again, lift up and then lower. Now lie down on your back. There's no jump back here. We're preparing for back bending. Take your feet in toward the buttocks. If you can grab the ankles, do so. Otherwise, leave your hands on the floor. Leave your shoulders down and then push the hips up into the sky. And breathe deep. This is a good preparation for full back bending. The breath is full and deep. Both feet are pressing fully into the floor, so you should feel the base of the big toe pressing down as both legs are active. And don't let your knees roll out. You also want to protect the neck by keeping the weight on your shoulders. And now lower your hips back to the floor. Bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a big hug. Take some of that stretch out. Then one more time, lower your feet to the floor and repeat the same posture again, lifting the hips up and breathing deep. If you wish to go further, you can now take your hands to the floor and push all the way up to Urdhva Dhanurasana, the upside down bow posture. All of the same rules apply with the feet. They're pressing into the floor, the legs are strong, and the chest is open. That should already be about 4 breaths, and 5. Lower all the way to the floor. Once again, bring your knees to your chest. This time, roll forward and back. Come up to a sitting position. Straighten your legs and move forward into a forward bend. And breathe deep. Lengthen the spine. Take some of that backward bending out by lengthening forward and stretching the hamstrings. And release. Now, from there, just roll down onto your back, lying on your back, and bend your knees. Then lift your feet from the floor and lift your hips. First, you can just support your hips in your hands. This is a modified shoulder stand. Keep the weight on your shoulders, not on your neck. So for now, the hands are on the hips. Eventually, you'll roll the shoulders under and move the hands up to the back and lift so that the body becomes like a stick or a staff, moving straight up into the sky. You want to keep that 7th cervical vertebrae away from the floor, though, so keep the shoulders rolling under and breathe deep. If you feel too much pressure on your neck, by all means, back off from the posture or even come out of it altogether and make another attempt tomorrow. If you feel pain in any posture, back off and come back to your breath. Remember, that's the focus. Don't worry about achieving a posture. Never sacrifice the breath for a posture. Now, come out of this one by bending the knees, lowering and coming down with the feet. Then straighten your legs. Press your elbows down into the floor. Lift your chest and drop your head back for Matsyasana, the fish posture. This is the counter stretch. It now opens the chest after the shoulder stand. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. Hold. Breathe deep. That's 3. Use your arms to press to help open the chest further. That's 4. And 5. Release. Once again, bring your knees to your chest. And roll back and forth and come up to a sitting position. Now you can place your legs in lotus, half lotus, or no lotus, just with crossed legs. Place your hands on your knees, a straight spine, keep the chest fully open. Whichever of the 3 choices, lotus, half lotus, or no lotus, see that your chest is open and that you're sitting up tall, and breathe full and deep now. Inhaling and exhaling, filling the entire body with each breath. We're going to say that's already about 3 breaths. Really lengthen the breath now. We're going to stay here a few more breaths. We're going to stay over the 5 breaths here. That's already about 7. Full deep breathing. 8, 9, and 10. Now we're ready for Tolasana. Take your hands to the floor, whether in lotus, half lotus, or no lotus, and push them down and try to lift the body away from the floor. And now we're going to stay up here. I'm going to count to 10. Even if you don't achieve liftoff, make the effort and breathe deep. 1, 2, strong breathing. 3, this is a more powerful breath now. 4, look straight ahead. 5, if you need to come down, do so. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good. Release your legs, straighten them, engage your quadricep muscles, roll back, lie down on your back, and completely relax. You can now either push the stop or pause button and remain here in silence in your own deep relaxation, or if you choose to, you could fast forward this tape to the end where you find the title card for deep relaxation, and you'll be talked through the guided relaxation. We're now ready to begin the 45-minute routine. Stand near the front of your mat, distribute the weight evenly across your feet, keep your legs active, drop your sit bones, keep the spine long and the chest open. Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward, lower the head. Inhale, look up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, take both feet back and lower all the way to the floor. Inhale, upward dog, full breath. Exhale, downward facing dog position. And strong breathing. Press the entire palm into the floor. Spread your fingers wide. Keep both legs active. Keep the neck long as well. That's already 2 breaths. Full deep breathing. Remember, that is the focus of your practice. Engage your locks as well so the belly isn't moving. 4. And 1 more full deep breath. And 5. Inhale, take your feet forward, either jumping or stepping, and look up. Exhale, lower the head. Inhale, full breath, arms up over the head, and exhale, arms to your sides. And again, Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward, lower your head. Inhale, look up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, take your feet back lower, all the way down. Upward facing dog. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. This is your practice. Remember, don't go beyond your limit in the postures. In these first few sun salutations, don't push too deep into the down dog until the body begins to heat up. If you feel discomfort in the lower back, or if your hamstrings are particularly tight, bend your knees in downward dog. But keep the focus on the breath and do keep the legs active. That should be 5 breaths. With an inhale, take both feet forward, straighten your legs, look up. Exhale, lower the head. Inhale, full breath, arms up, hands touch. Exhale, arms to your sides. And one more. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward, lower your head. Inhale, look up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, take your feet back, lower, all the way down. Upward facing dog, strong legs, open the heart. Downward facing dog, exhale. Downward facing dog, you want to move the chest toward the feet, but at the same time keep the spine nice and long so the top of the head comes toward the floor. Keep both legs active as your heels move toward the floor. The entire palm is pressing down. The breath full and deep. Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha are engaged. That's 4. And 5. Once again, take both feet forward, look up. Exhale, lower the head. Inhale, full breath, all the way up, hands touch. And exhale, arms to your sides. We're now ready for Surya Namaskara B. Bend your knees, inhale, full breath, look up at the hands. Exhale, fold forward, legs straighten, and the head drops. Inhale, lengthen the spine, look up. Exhale, take both feet back, lower, all the way down to the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog, the heart is open. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pivot the left foot, step forward with the right. Inhale, arms up, one big movement, one big breath. Exhale, both hands down, step back, the lungs empty as you lower to the floor. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Other side, step forward with the left, the back foot's flat on the floor. Inhale, full breath, hands up. Exhale, both hands down, step back, empty the lungs and lower. Try to keep a rhythm in your practice. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog position. Keep flowing. Find a grace so that you reach the point that you're riding the breath. It's not so much a muscular activity as it is an energetic flow in the body. Remain relaxed as you practice. And breathe deeply. The breath is full, but it shouldn't be forced or constricted too much. That should already be 4 and 5. Once again, take the feet forward, bend the knees, and either jump or step. Straighten the legs, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees, keep them bent as you inhale, and the arms come up over the head. Exhale, legs straighten, arms to your sides. And again, bend the knees, inhale, full breath. Exhale, fold forward, keep your movements fluid. Inhale, look up. Exhale, take your feet back and lower all the way down. Upward dog, inhale, open the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big step with the right foot, arms come up, one big smooth movement. Exhale, fold forward, step back, empty the lungs as you lower. Upward dog, inhale, downward dog, exhale. Other side, fluid movement, move as though you're moving through water. Arms up over your head, left leg forward, and both hands down, step back, empty the lungs. Upward dog, inhale, downward facing dog, exhale. Focus is on your breathing. Both legs are active. The knees are lifting. The heels press toward the floor. The entire palm presses into the floor as you push the earth away, extending through the shoulders, keeping the neck long. 4, and 5. Once again, take your feet forward. Try to control your jump. If you're jumping, look up. Exhale, lower the head. Bend your knees. Inhale, full breath, hands up. Exhale, arms to your sides, legs straighten. And one more sun salutation. Bend your knees. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward, empty the lungs. Inhale, look up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, take your feet back and lower. Upward dog. Inhale, heart open. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pivot the left, step with the right. Inhale, fluid movement. The inhale lifts the arms. The exhale guides you back to earth as you lower. The inhale now lifts the chest to upward dog. The exhale propels you back to downward dog. Step forward with the other leg. Left leg forward, arms up, full breath. The exhale once again guides you back to the earth. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Listen to your breath. That's the barometer of your practice. If it's too shallow, you need to bring greater focus there. If it's too constricted, you're trying too hard. Find a rhythm so that the breath remains that nice, full sound like a distant ocean or like the wind in the trees. That should already be about 3 breaths. And 4. One more. And 5. Take both feet forward, straighten the legs, look up. Exhale, lower the head. Bend the knees, keep them bent as you inhale, arms up over the head. Exhale, legs straighten, and arms to your sides. We're now ready for the first standing posture, Padangusthasana. Give a little jump, feet hips width apart. Exhale, hands to your waist. Inhale, look up, open the chest. Exhale, fold forward, grab the big toes. Inhale, look up. Exhale, forward. If you weren't able to grab the big toes, that's okay. You could be holding behind the knees or behind the ankles. Either way, both legs should be active and the spine long. If you feel discomfort in the lower back, bend your knees slightly. Otherwise, the legs are straight and the breath is full. That's already about 4 breaths. Keep it full and deep. And 5. Now, to come out of this posture, you want to inhale, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, keep a flat back, take your hands to your waist. Inhale, come all the way up, and then with a jump or a step, take the feet together. We're now ready for Utthita Trikonasana. Either jump or step to the right. One leg's length distance between your feet. Turn the right foot out. Extend with the right hand toward the right shin, or eventually you'll take that right hand all the way down and grab the big toe of the right foot. Roll the chest open, keep the shoulders broad, and point your left fingertips up to the sky. Keep the spine long in a nice spiraling motion from the sacrum to the top of your head. That should already be about 4 breaths. And 5. With an inhale, give a big lift, come all the way up. Pivot, turn the right foot in and the left foot out. Extending with the left hand toward the left ankle, look up at the right hand. Eventually, you'll move the hand toward the big toe and grab the left big toe with 2 fingers of the left hand. Your gaze is up at the right hand. Remember, you're broad across the shoulders. And that's already 3 full breaths. Keep the upper body rolling out over that right leg. Keep your neck long as well. 4. And 5. Once again, use the breath. As you inhale and come up, turn your feet parallel. Then with an exhale, either jump or step, face the front of your mat. We're now ready for Utthita Parsvakonasana. Once again, take it to the right. This time you have a longer stance. Turn the right foot out and bend the right knee. Check your stance. Keep the right knee above the right heel. Take the right forearm to the top of the right knee, left arm beside the head, or if you wish to move deeper, take the right hand all the way to the floor outside the right foot, left arm beside the head. Breathe deeply. You want to have a straight line from the outer edge of that left foot moving up the side of your body, shooting out the fingertips of the left hand. That should already be 4 breaths. And one more full breath makes 5. With the big inhale, lift as you come up out of the posture, straighten the right leg, turn the right foot in, the left foot out. Bend the left knee, check your stance, be sure the left knee is over the left heel. Left forearm to the top of the left knee, or take the hand outside the foot, right arm beside the head. Full deep breathing. If you're a person with the hand on the floor, press that left knee against the left arm and use that dynamic to help roll the chest open fully. You should already be at about 3 breaths. And 4. And 5. With the big inhale, come up, turn the feet parallel, both legs straighten, and then you jump or step, face the front of your mat again. We're now ready to move again to the right with a nice wide stance. Check that the outer edges of your feet are parallel, and we're ready for Prasarita Padottanasana A. Hands to the waist, exhale, inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward, hands to the mat. Then lift the chest with an inhale, and once again, exhale, fold forward. If your hands did not reach the floor, it's okay. You could leave your hands even at the shins or near the knees, but the breath should be full and deep. If your hands are on the floor, try to get the hands and feet in one line across the floor. It should already be about 3 breaths. Keep the quadricep muscles working, the muscles above the knees, and also your abdominal locks to help pull you through. And 5. Now, stay where you are, take your hands away from the floor, reach behind your back, clasp the fingers together, and pull the hands over toward the floor. This is Prasarita Padottanasana C position. Full deep breathing, both legs active, abdominal locks working, the neck is long, and the breath is full. And that should already be about 3 breaths. 4. One more, pulling the hands over toward the floor. 5. With an inhale, keep the hands lifting as you come all the way up. Come up slowly so you don't become dizzy. And then release, hands to your waist. Inhale, arms up, broad across the shoulders. With an exhale, either step or jump. Face the front of your mat. And we're ready for Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. You can do this in one of 2 ways. You can raise the right knee with 2 hands, grab it and lift it, or grab the right big toe and then straighten the right leg. Either way, the left leg should be straight and working, not necessarily locked back, but the quadriceps of that left leg should be working, and the right leg's extending forward from the heel. Breathe deep. That's already 3 breaths. 4. If you're holding the right big toe and your shoulder is pulling way forward, try to pull that right shoulder back in line with the left. And 5. Now release the right foot, bend the leg, and slowly lower the foot to the floor. And we're ready for the left side. Bend the left knee, lift it with 2 hands, or grab the left big toe with 2 fingers of the left hand, pull that left shoulder back. The right hand is on the right hip. The breath is full and deep. The extended leg is working. Press the entire foot into the floor so the base of that right toe is also working. That should be already about 4 breaths. And 5. Then release that side. Lower the feet. Both feet together. Now inhale. Lift the right foot, bring it across toward the upper left thigh. Reach the right hand back behind the back, and if you can grab the right foot with the right hand, do so. Otherwise, hold on to the left forearm with the right hand. If either of those are too much, go ahead and take the right foot to the inner left thigh and remain standing. If you're holding the left forearm with the right hand, remain standing. Those of you holding the right foot, you could continue all the way forward to the floor with the left hand outside the left foot, and the breath is full and deep. That should already be about 3 breaths. The supporting left leg is working also. That's 4. and 5. Those of you leaning forward, go ahead and come all the way back up. Bend the supporting leg a bit as you come up, so you protect the knee. Then everyone release, straighten your right leg, engage the quadriceps, and then lower the foot to the floor. We're ready for the left side. Raise the left foot, bring it across toward the upper right thigh, reach behind the back. If you can grab the foot, do so. If not, hold the right forearm with the left hand and remain standing. If you're holding the foot, extend forward and lower the head with an exhale. Remember, another option for this, for those of you who this might be too much for the knee or hip, would be to remain standing with that left foot pressing the inner right thigh and breathing deep. That should be about 4 and 5 breaths. With an inhale, those of you leaning forward, come all the way back up. Protect your supporting leg by bending it. Release, straighten the left leg, and take your feet together. We're ready for a vinyasa. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up. Exhale, take your feet back lower. Upward dog. Inhale. Downward dog. Exhale. Step forward with the right foot. The back foot, left foot is flat on the floor. Your gaze is up at the hands. Your sit bones drop slightly. Listen to your breath. Keep the spine nice and long. The hips are squaring toward the front as much as possible. This is Virabhadrasana, the warrior posture A. That should already be about 4 breaths. And 5. Now straighten the right leg and pivot. Right foot in, left foot out. Bend the left knee. Look up at the hands. You're extending from the sacrum up through the spine, all the way up through your arms and up to your fingertips. Your gaze is at your thumbs. The left leg is at a 90-degree angle and the breath is full and deep. We're on the left side of Virabhadrasana A position. And 5. Open the arms now, in line with the legs, but keep that left leg bent. The upper right pelvis moves back, the inner left knee moves forward. Virabhadrasana B position, and that's already 3 breaths. Keep the spine perpendicular to the floor. The neck is long and the shoulders are moving away from the ears. And 5. Straighten the left leg, pivot, left foot in, right foot out, bend the right knee. And deep breathing. Once again, the spine is long, and you're extending the arms with an energetic flow. Try not to use so much muscle action as much as an energetic flow to keep the arms lifting and the spine erect. And that's 5 breaths. As you exhale, take both hands down on each side of the right foot, step back, empty the lungs, and lower to the floor. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog position, and come all the way through to a sitting position, either jumping through or hopping forward and then sitting back. We're ready for the first sitting posture, Dandasana. Press the hands into the floor directly beside your hips. Press the back of the knees down, move your heels forward and pull the toes back. Breathe deep, keep the spine long, and drop your chin into your chest. This is an active posture, Dandasana is. The legs are working, the arms are working, and the spine is lifted. And of course the breath is nice and full. That should already be 5 breaths. We're now ready for Paschimottanasana. Inhale, arms up over the head. Exhale, fold forward. Take the big toes with 2 fingers. Inhale, look up. And then exhale, fold into the posture. If you were unable to reach the toes, it's okay. You could go ahead and grab the ankles or the shins or the knees if you need to, but keep those legs active. If you feel discomfort in the lower back, it would also be wise to bend the knees slightly in this posture and breathe deep. That should already be 4. One more strong breath, lengthen the spine. 5. Inhale, look up, lengthen the spine further. Exhale, release. And we're now ready to move into Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana. Take the right foot, bring it across toward the upper left thigh. Reach behind the back with the right hand. Now, if this is too much, go ahead and leave the right foot on the floor and take the right hand behind the back. Otherwise, the right foot is on top of the left thigh. The right hand comes behind the back, and you're reaching toward that right foot. Extend forward with the left hand. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, extend forward, and breathe deep. It's okay if you're not quite reaching that right foot. It may come in time. Also, remember, if it's too much on the knee or the hip, go ahead and leave that right foot on the floor. That should already be about 3 breaths. 4 and 5. With an inhale, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, release. When you take that leg out, go ahead and straighten it. Engage the quadriceps and then lower it. Now, left leg, lift it. Take the left foot across toward the upper right thigh. Reach behind the back with the left hand. Remember, if you can't reach that left foot, go ahead and leave the left foot on the floor if you need to, if it's too much on the knee. If you're holding the foot, extend forward with the right hand, lift the chest with an inhale, exhale, extend forward. Also, if that left hand is not quite reaching the left foot, that's okay as well. Just keep it behind the back. The right leg should be active though. Breathe deep. That's already about 4. Remember, this is your practice. Know what your limits are, but don't go over them. Inhale, head up. Exhale, release. We now have a vinyasa. Cross your legs. Hands to the floor in front, and shoot the legs back, lower to the floor, upward dog inhale, downward dog exhale, and come all the way through to a sitting, whatever is an appropriate method for you, either jumping through or hopping forward and then sitting back. And we're now ready for Janu Shirshasana A. Right foot comes into the inner left thigh, 90-degree angle between both knees, extend forward with both hands, inhale, lift the chest up, exhale forward and breathe deep. The left leg is active, the left heel moves forward, and both shoulders are on an even plane as you're breathing deep. That's 4. One more breath. And 5. With an inhale, you then want to lift the chest, look up, exhale, release. Straighten the right leg. And now, left side, Janu Shirshasana A, left side. Left foot pressing the inner right thigh, 90-degree angle between the knees, both hands forward. Lift the chest, inhale, and exhale, and breathe deep. That's 1. And 2. Lengthen the spine and take the chest forward. Don't worry about getting your nose to your knee. Think more in terms of taking the chest to the thigh or to the knee and the top of the head toward the foot. And that's 5. Inhale, head up. Exhale, release. Once again, we have a vinyasa. Jump back in whatever method is appropriate for you. Lift the chest with an inhale. Exhale, push the hips up. And hop back through or walk the feet through. Either way is fine. We're ready for Marichyasana A. Raise the right knee up, left leg straight. Now raise the right arm with an inhale. Exhale, fold forward, take that right arm back around the right knee and see if you can clasp the hands behind. Then exhale, extend forward. If you're unable to clasp the hands behind, that's perfectly fine. Just press the right arm against the right knee and pull the chest through. It'll come in time. Remember, focus on the breath. Keep that left leg active. Both hands behind the back, or if you need to, the hands are on the floor and you're pressing the right arm against the right knee and breathing deep. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, release the right side. And we're ready for the left side. With an inhale, bend the left knee. Extend with the left arm, wrap it around the leg, lift the chest with an inhale. Exhale, out over the right leg. Full deep breathing, your gaze is toward the toes. The left foot is in line with the sit bones of the left hip. And you're breathing. That's 3. Keep the right leg working. 4. Remember, don't worry about getting your nose to your knee. Take the chest forward. And 5. Inhale, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, release. Once again, we have a vinyasa. If these are becoming too much, you can leave the vinyasas out and just wait until it's time for the next posture. Otherwise, you're already at about downward dog and hopping back through, and we're ready for Marichyasana C position. Raise the right knee, the same as before, left leg straight. This time, right arm behind, bring your left arm across, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, pull that right shoulder around. You can either remain at this stage or rotate the left shoulder, bend the left elbow, wrap that arm around the leg, reach behind your back, and see if you can clasp hands. If that's too much, by all means remain in the first phase and breathe deep. That is the focus, and you're already on about your fourth breath. And 5. With an inhale, look to the front. Exhale, release that side, straightening the right leg. Bend the left leg. Come across, left hand to the floor behind you. Lift the spine, right arm comes across. Lengthen all the way from the sacrum up through the crown of your head. Look back over the left shoulder. You can stay in that phase, or remember that you could rotate that right shoulder, bend the arms, and take them back behind the back. Whichever choice you're in, be sure that right leg is still working and you're breathing deeply. And 5. Take your gaze back to the front, straighten the left leg, and once again we have a vinyasa, either rolling forward or jumping back or waiting if you need to. That's perfectly fine. Breathe deep, whatever your choice. Come all the way back through to sitting, and we're ready for the boat posture, Navasana. Take your hands behind your knees with the knees bent. Lift the feet from the floor. Now release your hands and breathe. That's 1. Eventually, you'll want to work towards straightening the legs in this and breathing fully. If that's too much for now, keep the knees bent. Or maybe at first the legs are straight and you might need to revert to the bent knees. But keep the lower back lifting. That's already 5 breaths. Hands to the floor, lift up and down. And one more time, breathing deep. That's 1, 2. Don't collapse in the lower back. 3. If you need to bend the knees, do so. 4 and 5. Lift up and down. And we're going to do this one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Listen to your breath. Your gaze is at the toes. And 5. Lift up and down. And one more time, we have a vinyasa. Jumping back, lifting upward dog and downward dog. And coming all the way through to a sitting position once again. From here, bring both feet in toward the groin. Grab the feet with your hands. Place the fingers on top of the feet and the thumbs inside. Now open your feet as you would open a book. And by doing so, you'll find that the hips open and allow the knees to drop further toward the floor. Inhale, lengthen the spine, then exhale, extend with the chest toward the floor and breathe deep. If this is too extreme to lean forward, then remain sitting up straight and breathing. That's 3, 4. Remember to engage your locks as well in all of these postures. And 5. Inhale, lengthen the spine, sit up, and release. Take your feet and spread the feet wide. We're ready for Upavishta Konasana. Both legs are active. The quadricep muscles are working, and the knees are pointing up toward the sky. Lean forward with the chest. If you need to support yourself with your hands on the floor in front of you, that's fine. Slowly working the hands out, but keep the lower back lifting and the quadriceps working. Otherwise, eventually you'll lean forward with the chest, taking the hands out toward the feet, and breathe deep. That should already be about 3 breaths. And 4. And 5. With an inhale, sit up. Exhale, take your feet together and cross your legs one more time. We're going to have a vinyasa. Jump back in whatever method is appropriate for you, or leave it out if you need to. And then come all the way back through to a sitting position. And we're now ready for Urdhva Dhanurasana. Lie down on your back. Bend your knees, bring your feet in toward the buttocks and grab the ankles. If you can't reach the ankles, leave your hands on the floor. Then push with the legs and lift your hips off the floor and leave your shoulders down. And breathe deep. That's 1, 2, 3. This is a preparation for Urdhva Dhanurasana. 4 and 5. Then exhale and come all the way down to the floor again. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Then, once again, take your feet to the floor. You can either repeat the same thing, or if you choose to move a bit deeper into the posture, place your hands under your shoulders and press all the way up into Urdhva Dhanurasana. And breathe deep. Keep both legs active, whichever phase you're in. That's 1, 2, 3. Strong breath. 4 and 5. Lower all the way to the floor once again. Pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. Then roll up and back and roll all the way up to a sitting position. Straighten your legs in front. Lean forward and move into Paschimottanasana, forward bend, to take some of that stretch out of the back after the backward bends. Just sink into it. Breathe deeply and hold for a couple breaths. Strong breathing, both legs active. And let's say that's about 5. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, release. Then lie down on your back and preparation for Sarvangasana. Lift your hips off the floor. Support your hips with your hands. Eventually, you want to roll the shoulders under and take your hands onto your back and press high into the shoulder stand. You must move into this carefully, though. If you feel pain in your neck, back off on it. Even though this is an inverted posture with your head on the floor, the weight should really be on the shoulders, not on the neck. So if you need to back off and keep the hips and the hands, that's fine. Otherwise, you're all the way up there on the shoulder stand and breathing deep. We're going to stay here for 8 counts. That's already 5. Full, deep breathing. 6, your gaze is up at the toes. 7, listen to the breath. That's your focus. And 8. Now we're ready for Halasana position. From Sarvangasana shoulder stand, you want to lower your feet toward the floor on the head side of your body. Take your hands down toward the floor, away from your back, lacing the fingers together. Try to keep the spine long here. This is the plow position, Halasana. Again, you can roll the shoulders under to keep the weight off of your neck. If you feel discomfort, come out of the posture. And we should already be at about 3, 4, and 5. Now we're ready for the next posture, Karnapidasana, which is bending the knees from the plow position, letting the knees come down toward the ears. If they don't reach it all the way to the floor, that's okay. Maybe you need to remain in the plow or even come out of the posture if you need to. If it feels like too much, by all means come out early, but keep your focus on the breath. And that's already 3, 4. If you did come out of the posture already, keep your breath moving so you maintain your heat. And 5. Now take your hands to the floor, flat on the floor behind you. Roll the hips down. Take the feet to the floor. Then straighten the legs. Press your elbows down into the floor, lift your chest, and roll the head under. And breathe deep. We're in the fish posture, which is the counter pose to all of the previous shoulder stand and variations. That's already 2 breaths. 3, 4. Keep the elbows pressing down to lift the chest high and roll the head further under. And 5. Release that posture by lowering your back to the floor. Bring your knees up to your chest. Once again, roll up to a sitting position. Then, from that sitting position, go ahead and take your feet behind so that you're in a kneeling position. You're on your hands and your knees, and then sit back with your backside down toward your heels. And we're going to prepare for headstand. From this position, take your elbows to the floor, and then bring your arms across so that your fingers wrap around your upper arms near the elbows. That's how far apart your elbows should be. Now, from there, take your hands out onto the floor, lace your fingers together. Now, the top of your head is going to go down to the floor in between the hands, and the back of your head will be cradled in the hands. But really, the weight should be supported more on the forearms and the elbows and the base of the hand, rather than putting it all on your head. Now, from here, straighten your legs and begin to walk your feet toward your head. Now, if you've never done this before, you should just stop right there. Be happy at that position. You're still getting benefits from an inversion. If you're familiar with it, you can then walk the feet a little further toward your head, bend your knees, and move up to the headstand position. If you need to work with a wall, that's okay, but be sure that you're supporting the weight on your arms and that it's not all on your head. We're going to stay up here for a few breaths. And remember, if it feels like it's too much and you need to come down at any time, by all means do so. Remember, this is your practice. Build it over time. Don't be in a hurry. Yoga practice is something you can practice your entire life, so there's no rush. Enjoy your practice and breathe. Make a meditation of it. Remember, if you're still in headstand, keep the weight on the arms. That's where your focus should be. We're just going to stay for 1 or 2 more breaths. Keep your focus. If you need to come out, by all means, that's perfectly fine. And now, if you're still up there, bend your knees, bring your knees in toward your chest, straighten the legs, and take your feet toward the floor. Then bend the knees, take your knees down, and sit back on your heels. Take your arms back alongside the legs, and take your forehead to the floor. This is called the child's pose. It's good to rest here for just a few seconds after coming out of headstand. If you sit up too quickly, you might find yourself getting dizzy. Okay, we're now ready for one more vinyasa. Take your hands forward, hop the feet back, then move to the upward facing dog, downward facing dog, and then come all the way through to a sitting position. And we're ready for the final sitting postures. To do this, you'll either need to sit in lotus, half lotus, or no lotus. That's okay too. Just with crossed legs is fine. If you're in lotus, you're going to take your arms back behind your back. That's meant eventually to represent the holding of the feet with the hands. If you get your arms back but you don't hold the feet, don't worry. Just leave the hands where they are and lean forward. Or if you're in crossed legs, that's okay also. Just cross your arms behind your back and lean forward and breathe deep. This is called Baddha Padmasana, the bound lotus posture. That's already 1 breath, full deep breathing. 2, remember your locks as well. You want to engage those throughout the entire practice. 3, 4, and 5. With an inhale, sit up, take the hands away from behind the back, and place your hands on top of your knees. Whether you're in lotus, half lotus, or no lotus, the main thing here is you want a straight spine. Sit up tall with good posture, open the chest and the heart so that your lungs have plenty of room to expand as you're breathing. We're going to do 10 full deep breaths. I want you to draw them out in long, full streams of air. I'm going to breathe with you for a few breaths. Inhale. That's 1. 2. 3. 4, keep it full and deep. 5, fill the entire body, not just your lungs, but the entire body. We're now exhaling. 6, 7, 8, 2 more full breaths. Make them nice, long, deep, rhythmic breaths. That was the 9th exhale, and inhaling. 10 breaths, very full and deep. Now we're ready for the last posture, Tolasana. Take your hands to the floor, whether in lotus, half lotus, or no lotus. Place them beside the hips. Press the hands down into the floor. Lift the body up and breathe deep. I'm going to count to 15. Stay up there as long as you can. The breath should be full and powerful and deep. Stay as long as you can. If you need to come down before the 15, that's okay. And lift. Full deep breathing. 1, 2, 6, deep breathing. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, hold it. 13, full breathing. 14, focus, hold, and 15, exhale, lower. It's fine even if you did not achieve liftoff, even if you were unable to lift your body off the floor, but you made the effort and you were breathing full and deep, you still got all the benefits. Now lie down on your back and close your eyes. We're ready for a deep relaxation. At this point, you can either push the pause button or the stop button and remain for as long as you wish in a silent deep relaxation, or if you choose to, you could fast forward this tape to where you find the title card for deep relaxation, and you'll be guided through full deep relaxation. We're now ready to enter deep relaxation. So lie down on your back, completely relax. Just release all of the tensions anywhere in the body. Now we're going to go through each part of the body, one at a time, first creating a tension, then to further release tensions. First, raise your right leg just a few inches off of the floor. Now begin by tightening the toes and then the foot, the ankle, the calf, the knees, the thigh, all the way up to the buttock. Hold as tight as you can and then release from the buttock to the thigh, the knee, the calf, the ankle, releasing the foot and the toes, and then slowly let the right leg float down to the floor and melt away. Completely release all of the tensions in the right leg. Totally relaxed. Now, the same on the left. Raise the left leg just a few inches from the floor. Begin by tightening the toes, the foot, your ankle, the calf, the knee, the thigh, all the way up to the buttocks. Hold as tight as you can, hold, and then release from the buttocks, through the thigh, the knee, the calf, the ankle, release the foot and the toes. Slowly let the left leg float back to the floor and relax. Completely relax, release, and unwind, feeling all of the tensions melt away from the left leg. so that now both legs are totally relaxed. Now tighten the lower abdominal muscles and press the lower back into the floor. Tighten the belly as tight as you can. Hold and release. Completely let go, releasing all of the muscles in the midsection. Now raise your right arm just a few inches off the floor. One finger at a time, make a fist. Then tighten your fist, wrist, forearm, upper arm, shoulder. Hold as tight as you can. Hold it, and then release from the shoulder, upper arm, forearm, wrist, and one finger at a time, like petals of a flower opening to the sun. Release the hand, and slowly let the right arm float down to the floor, and relax. Feel all of the tensions releasing and melting away from the right arm. And now we move to the left side. Lift the left arm just a few inches off the floor. One finger at a time, make a fist. Then tighten your fist, wrist, forearm, upper arm, and shoulder as tight as you can. Hold, and then from the top, release the shoulder, upper arm, elbow, forearm, wrist. One finger at a time. Open the palm, like petals of a flower opening to the sun, and slowly let the left arm float down to the floor, and feel the tensions melt away, so that both arms are completely relaxed, totally relaxed. Now raise your head just about an inch from the floor, and slowly turn it to the right. Turn your head to the right slowly. Then back to the center, keeping it away from the floor, turn it all the way back to the left. Once again, come back to the center, lift your chin toward the chest, and then slowly lower the head down to the floor and relax. Completely relax. Release all of the tensions from the neck. Now keep your eyes closed and close them very tight. Push your lips together, make your face as small as you can. Squinch it together, hold, and now keeping the eyes closed, raise your eyebrows, open your mouth, stick your tongue out, stretch your face, stretch. Now close your mouth and push your cheeks out, fill them with air, and release completely. Totally releasing all of the tensions in your face. The face is now completely relaxed. And now take a breath in through the nose, and as you exhale, open your mouth and just let the air come out your mouth like air out of a balloon. Just with a soft sigh, let the air exit. And one more time, inhale through the nose, and then through the mouth with a nice exhale. One more time, inhale, exhale, and sink deep into your relaxation. And now at this point, I'm going to leave you to the sounds of the music to carry you off deeper into your relaxation. And after a minute or so, I'll come back on and talk you out of your deep relaxation. All right. Begin to bring your awareness back now, just slowly. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Begin to inhale just gently through the nose, no great effort, and feel your ribs expand against the floor. And then exhale. And just take a few breaths like that. Then increase the awareness with each breath. Now begin to bring a bit of movement into the extremities. Just move your fingers and toes gently. And then with a greater inhale, take your arms over your head and stretch. Really lengthen from your fingers to your toes. Inhale as you stretch. Then exhale, relax and release right there. Now bring your knees up to your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Pull the knees into your body. And then roll to one side and release your knees and just pause there. Just relax completely as a child might relax. Letting go. And then slowly come back up to a sitting position. Rub your palms together. Close your eyes. Place your palms over your eyes for a moment with the eyes closed. Just pause here for a few seconds. Then release the hands. Open your eyes. And now you can carry that nice, deep, relaxed feeling, that tranquility with you throughout the day.